Dumelang, greetings from Botswana, the land of Botswana, the motherland. It's Sunday and it's absolutely boiling. I might have to wear glasses in a minute. So anyway, whilst I take my little walk in the neighborhood, beautiful neighborhood, as you can see, I thought I'll talk about something that is currently doing the rounds. And it's regarding our African presidents. And I'm talking about specifically the president of Botswana and the president of Zambia. Now, before I get into that story or into those stories, I'll say this. For decades, Africa was conditioned to negotiate from a place of gratitude. Grateful for aid, grateful for investment, grateful just to be invited to the table. Grateful just to be seen, just to be acknowledged. And now, in 2026, I'm starting to see a shift. We are starting to see a shift. Because the first story I want to mention is, this report, or the reports that are doing the rounds, are saying that the president of Botswana was invited to the White House to discuss Botswana's minerals, and that he declined, saying that discussions about Botswana's minerals should take place in Botswana, not him being required to fly all the way to Washington, D.C., to the United States of America. So in other words, President Duma Boko is saying, buyers go to sellers, not the other way around. Not the other way around. And then there's Zambia. There are verified reports that are saying that there are now tensions between Zambia and the United States over minerals negotiations, over aid linked to Zambia's minerals. And according to these verified reports, Zambia said, no, we are not going to entertain threats from America. And when I look at this situation, when I look at these two stories or these two responses or these two situations, one thing is clear to me. Africa is starting to speak differently. And whether you agree with the approach or not, to me, that's not what matters. What matters to me is the symbolism. It is the symbolism. It is the message that is sending. Because for a long time, Africa was conditioned to negotiate from a place of dependency, from a place of weakness, really, if we look at it. And now the tone is shifting. It is about posture. It is about posture. Because beyond the politics, beyond the usual politics, this speaks to our psychology as Africans. It touches us on a psychological level. The idea that Africa does not always have to be the one doing the asking, but it has got something of value to offer. It has got something valuable to offer. To me, that's where the issue is. Because if we look to history, if we go back in time, history actually explains why things like debt, colonialism, structural adjustment, mineral extraction, foreign aid dependency, why entire generations grew up believing that development happens elsewhere, not in Africa. In France, Brussels, London, Washington. And history also tells us that Africa's role was to receive instructions, to do as it was told, and not ask too many questions. This is history. This is not me. I'm not making things up. This is history. And this is why I'm saying this psychological shift is important. It matters because it makes the world realize that actually it needs Africa too. It needs Africa too. Now, I don't want us to get things twisted because I need to be balanced here. This is not me saying that Africa is going to become powerful overnight. That's not what I'm saying. And this is not about Africa isolating itself. This is not me saying that things in Africa are perfect because we know we still struggle with corruption. Where do I even begin? So it's not about that. I need to be clear about that. But this, as I said, touches us on a psychological level and also on an emotional level. And the reason why this is resonating among many Africans is the fact that it restores dignity in our people. It is about dignity. Let me stand here for a bit for some shade. So anyway, as I was saying, this is not just about politics. It goes beyond politics. It touches us, as I said, on a psychological level and also on an emotional level. It is about dignity. It is about restoring dignity. Because as Africans, for the first time, we are starting to hear a shift in tone from our leaders. They are starting to speak as leaders. And this is rare. Let's call a thing a thing. African leaders are actually starting to speak like leaders. Not fearful, not submissive, not desperate. Just equal. And that symbolism is powerful. It matters. Because right now, there's a shift happening across the continent. We are seeing our leaders start to question bad deals. They are starting to look at things more closely and question things. And they are starting to say no. They are saying no to deals, partnerships that do not serve them. They are also starting to question why it is that countries that are rich in resources remain poor. They are starting to question that. They are also starting to question why it is that we export raw materials only to buy the processed product at a higher price when we can actually process that raw material in our countries. Africa is starting to question why it is that it is always seen as a charity case and not a player on the global stage. And this is why these stories resonate so deeply. This is why these stories matter. Because it is time that we start changing the narrative about Africa. It is time that we stop seeing ourselves as a charity case and start seeing ourselves as a serious global player. Because when it comes to politics, politics is complicated. This video is not really about politics, but it is about our identity. It is about our mindset, our psychology as African people. And when it comes to politics, it is complicated and things work a certain way and even progress is slow. Economics are difficult and I won't pretend to know the nitty-gritty details. But what I really like, what I'm happy about is that there is a shift that is happening. There is a psychological shift. There is a mindset shift. And this is everything. This is everything. To us Africans, this is everything. It is time that we restore dignity to our nations. And this is why I believe in changing the narrative one story at a time.